Okay, so good day everyone. So today we're going to discuss the different modified commands. So this is just only part one of a three parts discussion of the modified commands. Okay, so the first modified commands that we're going to discuss is the scale command, or you can type SC in your command line. Okay, so what we're going to do with the scale command is that you can enlarge or you can reduce the figure that you wanted to reduce or to enlarge. Okay, so say for example we have a circle. Okay, so type C for circle, and then we're just going to click it here. Okay, we're going to click here, and then okay, say for example the circle is having a diameter of 25. Okay, I mean radius of 25. We're going to press enter, then that will be your circle. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we are going to scale our circle. Let's reduce our circle into half of its size. Okay, so just type SC and then press enter. You can see there SC is equivalent to scale, and then press enter, and then the first command, it will state to select an object. So we're going to select this one, the circle, and then you're going to press enter, and then specify the base point. So we're going to click the center of the circle as your base point. Okay, and then specify the scale factor. So since we're going to reduce that to a half size, so we're going to have a scale factor of 0.5. Okay, so we're going to have 0.5 scale factor so that it will be reduced into one half of its size, and then we're going to press enter. Okay, so therefore if you notice that your circle is reduced to one half, okay, of its original size. So that is how you're going to do the scale command. Okay, another thing is we're going to have, say for example, a rectangle. Okay, so we're going to have a rectangle here. Okay, say for example this will be a rectangle. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to scale your rectangle, and then we're going to double its size. Okay, so what we're going to do, scale, SC, scale, and then press enter, and then we're going to select the object. Okay, click the object, and then press enter, and then we're going to specify the base point. So say for example we're going to have our base point here. Okay, and then okay, the scale factor, since we wanted to double the size of your rectangle, so what we're going to do, we're going to type 2. Okay, 2.0 or 2, and then press enter. Okay, so if you notice, your rectangle becomes bigger and it doubles in its original size. Okay, so that is how you're going to use the scale command. Okay, so the next command for modify that we're going to use is the array. Okay, so first, say for example we're going to draw a line. Okay, we're going to draw a line, then say for example our line is here. Okay, and then say the line's distance is say for example 25, then press enter. Okay, then enter. Okay, so here we have a line. Okay, so what we're going to do with a line, we're going to multiply your lines using array. Okay, so here, okay, so we're going now to click, or we're going to type now array, so negative array. Okay, and then press enter, then we're going to select the object. Okay, this one, and then what we're going to do, you're going to press enter, and then it will now ask you whether what type of array you're going to choose, either rectangular or polar. So say for example we're going to use a rectangular, so just type R, then press enter, then it will now tell you the number of rows. So the number of rows the number of rows will be, say for example, 10. Okay, so we have 10 as the number of rows, and then we are going to enter the number of columns. So since we're referring to the rows, so the number of columns will only be 1. Okay, now it will now specify the distance of your rows. Okay, what is the distance between in between the lines? So if you are going to use a positive, then it will go up, and if you are going to use a negative value, it will go down. The same thing if you are referring to the column. If you are going to use a negative value, it will go to the left, and if you're going to use a positive value, your array will go to the right. Okay, so here we're going to use a negative value since we're going to let our array go down. Okay, so say for example the distance in between is negative 5. Okay, negative 5. Okay, then we're going to press enter. So if you notice, okay, that your lines, okay, it multiplies 10 times, and the distance between the lines is equal to 5. Okay, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the column. Okay, we're going to use the column. So again, let's try to draw a line. Okay, line. Okay, specify the first point. Say this will be our first point, and then this will be our second point. Okay, okay, then say for example you have since the distance of your um, line that is horizontal is 25. So and then say for example that the distance per line is equivalent to 5. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy your line in a vertical form. Okay, so that we are going to create a box here. Okay, so next we're going to type negative array, enter, and then we're going to select an object. Okay, and then enter, and then it will now ask if you are going to use rectangular or polar. So we're going to use rectangular, so R, and then it will now enter the number of rows. Of course the number of rows is only 1. Okay, 1, and then enter the number of columns. So take note that you're going to copy, okay, the first vertical line going to your right. Okay, so the number of columns will be, say for example, if the distance of your line, vertical line, a horizontal line is 25, if we're going to divide that one by 5, because we have a distance of 5 in between lines, so we are going to have 5 lines, okay, or 5 columns, but including the original one, we're going to have the 6 columns. Okay, so we have 6. Okay, press enter, and the distance in between line is 5. Okay, say for example if we're going to use negative 5, what will happen? So say for example negative 5. Okay, so we're going to press enter. Okay, if you notice, your line goes to your left side because we're using negative. Okay, if we're going to use positive, it will go to your right side. So we have a wrong move here because we wanted to cover our or we're going to create a box here using the vertical lines and the horizontal lines. Okay, so let's undo this one. Okay, so let's undo. Okay, we're going to copy again negative array, enter, and then we're going to select the object, enter, and then we're going to use rectangular, so R, enter. The number of rows will be only be 1, and the number of columns will be 6, enter, and the distance is positive 5. Okay, enter. Okay, so there you go. So you have now we are now able to create a box with a cell inside. Okay, so that is how you're going to use array using the rectangular format of the array. So considering the row and the column of your array. Okay, Okay, so the next line that we're going to, or the next command, or the next part of the array that we're going to, um, I'm going to discuss to you is the with the use of the polar type of array. So first, we're going to draw a line. Okay, line. Let's say, for example, your line is here, and the distance, say for example, is 30. Okay, 30. Enter. So this is now your line, and then we're going to draw a circle. Okay, circle. Okay, specify the center. So this will be the center of the circle. So for example, the radius is 5. Okay, enter. Okay, that is now your circle. And then we're going now to copy your um, circle. Okay, so again, negative array. Enter. Select an object. Okay, enter. And then we're going to use polar this time, so enter. And then specify the base points. Our base point is here. Okay, and then enter the number of items, so how many circles you wanted to copy. So say for example 3 items. Enter. And then specify the angle. Okay, so we're going to go clockwise. Okay, so clockwise. So what will be the angle? So say for example the angle is what? Negative 90 degrees. Okay, so negative 90, and then enter. You wanted to rotate, of course, yes. So you have now a what? 3 copies of your circle in a circular form. Okay, now you can also copy this one. Okay, again you can copy this one. Okay, negative array, and then you're going to click the object here, enter, and then polar. Okay, and then we have the base point. So our base point is here. Okay, enter. Enter the number of items. Say for example you have 6. Okay, 6 items. Enter. And then since we're going to go clockwise, and then the degrees will be say since we have 6, so say for example you have negative 180 degrees, then press enter, then rotate, yes. Okay, enter. So there you go. So you have now here a what? A an array using polar. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to um, use the mirror command. Okay, so how are we going to do this one? So first we're going to draw a line. Okay, line. So the first point of our line is here. Okay, and the second point of our line is, say for example here, and then the distance is, say for example 35. Okay, and then okay, we're just going to, okay, 35, and then okay, so we're going to draw a line again, and then we're going to have a point here, and then here. Say for example this is also 35. Okay, 35, and also we're going to close it here. Okay, okay, so this will now be our triangle, and then we're going to mirror this one. Okay, so type mi. Okay, enter, and then select object. Okay, we're going to select all the objects. Okay, and then press enter, then specify the first point of the mirror line. So here, this one, okay. And okay, if you're going to look at this one, then we're going to have it here, lock it here, and then click this one, and then erase your source objects. Of course, we're not going to erase our source object, so it should be no. Enter. Okay, so we have now a mirror. So we're just copying the figure. Okay, we're just reflecting the figure to the other side. So that is how you're going to use the mirror. Okay, so the last modify command that we're going to use is the jumper command. Okay, so first we're going to draw a rectangle. Okay, so rectangle, specify the first point here, and then we're going to use a dimension. So d dimension, so the length is, say for example, 60, and the other length is, say for example, 30. Okay, so we have now a rectangle. Now we're going to use the jumper, okay, to trim our rectangle. So type jumper or jump, enter. Then we're going to select the first line here, okay, and then we're going to use, say for example, the angle, okay, angle, and then we're going to specify the length of the first line. So for example, the length will be 15, enter. And then we're going now to um, specify the angle. So say for example 45 degrees, enter. And then we're going to select the second line, okay, and then we're going to click. So there you go. So the rectangle is being trimmed. Okay, so again, another is we're going to trim the other side. So jumper again, and then we're going to select the first line here, okay, and then we're going to use the distance. So d, okay, specify the first distance, say for example 10, and specify the second distance, so say for example 15, okay, and then we're going to click the distance. So here, okay, the second line, we're going to click that one, and then it will now be trim. Okay, so that is how you're going to use the jumper command. Okay, so for more questions and clarifications regarding the topic, kindly post it in our LMS, or you can ask it during our collaboration. Again, this is just the first part of our modified uh, commands. Okay, how to use the modify commands: the scale, the array, mirror, and jumper. Okay, so good day everyone once again, and then God bless everyone. Thank you.